Hey everybody, this is going to be the final on the Tamiya Senna car, McLaren. I do have the two parts in two parts. This way I can show you the interior, because once I put that other piece on there, you will not be able to see inside of it very well. You'll be able to only see some detail. And the interior is very well detailed. So let's get into showing you everything. So this is just a quick overview on that. It is a little bit of a challenging kit, but it is rewarding in the final project because it is a very cool kit. Very cool car. So here you can see the interior dash. You got a very cool gauge cluster. It's all digital, of course, in these new supercars. These rings that are around the vents, those are their own individual piece, so it makes it easier for you to paint. And then you have this user display hub. They have two decals. They have the decal of the GPS like that, and then they also have one of like the startup screen. There is the two seats. You got speakers in both corners by the windows, down below in the doors, which is a pretty cool feature of this car. You have the Senna logo right there in the dash. They do have a speaker decal on the front and back. There is the seats. Now all the raised parts are separate pieces. So if you want a real dramatic car, if you painted like a red car, a flat red on the carbon fiber color, would look really cool on this. Or any even contrasting color would look really cool. This you can see when it's all done, but that is the brakes. Nice big brakes on these. So there's that. For the engine detail, there is a lot of detail in this engine of this kit, but like I said in the previous videos, it is all pretty much hidden. There's the exhaust. I use that Tamiya powder, weathering powder, and gave it some heating look. This has more of a bronze look than what you can see in the video. I think I got too much light, so it's kind of getting washed out. And then here is the rear lights. I did not do a license plate. Let's get the Senna badge and their metal sticker. They were kind of tricky to get on there, so it is a little bit off center. And the only way to get it off is by pretty much destroying it. So there is that part. Now for the body, you'll see it more once it's completely done. But here's just a quick look. That color shifting paint from Tamiya or Testers. This is the green to gold Testers color. I did put a coat of Future on it. It does not seem like it wants to show up very well with the light. So I don't know if it's a lighting angle issue or too much light. Maybe it's too much light. So let's try that. There you can see some of the shift. But it's more of like a bronze, like you see where my thumb's at, and then that darker green. So this kit, this body piece, is probably the most challenging part of the whole build, because you have a sub frame, I don't know what they call it, with a carbon fiber, but then you have all these panels that glue on, and then you have these little pieces here. It's a ton of pieces, so you have to be really good at gluing, and I did get a little bit of super glue on it, of course. had to. With this many pieces on there, you're sure to make a mistake. And I always like putting my windshields in like one of the last steps, so that way they don't get touched up too much. Well, on this, they did get touched up a little too much. There is some scratches in there. There is some fingerprints in there. Once it's all said and done, I would probably try to put a little bit of future on it and get it, but it's still a good kit. It's just a little challenging. It gets to show you where your skill level's at and let you know, test your patience, let you know where you gotta improve at. Right there, now that I took the light away, you can't see it. So let's bring the light back. So right there you have the McLaren logo. That is also on the side of it is the backup cam. And then you have the tail lights. Then you got the cool venting in the back. The aerodynamics of this car is really sharp. And then in here you have the automatic downforcing louvers, so that way it figures out when to apply force and not, and that's in both of those. On the cover art they are blue, and I think it's just to enhance the look so that way you see it. Not as aesthetic, but to let you know it's there. And I do believe this wing on this one moves around a little bit, probably in race mode or so. It's not perfect, but this kit is pretty darn hard to get perfect, I think. There's a lot of spots where you can mess up. There's the rear view mirror. I did the inside, try to do as much carbon fiber. That's where I had some poster tack. You're not going to see that once it's installed. So there's that. So let me get this installed and show you what it looks like when it's all said and done. Hey everybody. So here it is. It's finally all together. When the two halves do go together, it is a little tricky at the bottom. There's a lot of spots that need to snap in, so it's not perfect yet, but maybe I'll work on it a little bit more. But there it is. I think the next build I do is going to be an easy one, because this one was kind of a doozy, but it is worth doing. That's for darn sure. Very enjoyable, and a test of patience, skill, and I guess knowledge as well of the kit will do of your abilities. Once you're done, as you can see, it's a pretty darn cool kit. And you gotta make sure your fitment is going together quite well as you go. If not, at the end you'll find out very quickly that it won't work. For instance, I wait till it comes back around. This hood. So this hood is lined by this. This does alignment. There's pins here. So, and then this attaches to this, and this attaches to that. And then there's a piece down here that goes in there. That also lines up down here. And then these fenders do sit on that, but they do sit on the headlights. That sits down into the main thing. And the fender is the last thing to go. There's also these pieces here. So you put the hood down, the lights are in, or the lights in, then the hood. These pieces go down, and then the fenders go on top. There is a locating pin or bridge, I guess to say, like this far here. That and this has to line up to this and to this. Well, mine lined up quite a bit, except for on one side it's a little off, and then these are a little high. So that means that my headlights were probably a little high, and that's why they won't match 100% here. Now they're attached and everything there, but they're not 100%. You know, they're probably about 80 to 90% lined up on that. But that's just one example. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. If you guys are building it yourself, you'll find out pretty quick of the alignments that need to take place to get something aligned. I mean, it's not impossible. It's easy. I am not the best builder. That's by far. There's plenty of people much greater than me. So this kit was a kind of a bit of a challenge, but I really enjoyed it and appreciated of actually being able to get it, and suggest to everybody who likes it and wants a challenge to actually get it. And probably my favorite part of this whole kit is the wheels. These they do go together really well, and they look great in there. The detail on the brakes and all that. Tamiya is usually really good on brake detail, but these ones are even better than the last one I had. There's a lot of little aerodynamic vents in here, like on the side of the headlight. There's some. The headlights are pretty sharp as well on this kit. There's about 4 or 5 pieces in there for that. I'll get a close up of the back wheel. And see, you actually still have your parking brake in there. Right there. And then that's your big brake kit there. And then another alignment thing is this piece here glues onto the top part, and this piece here glues on the bottom. And I'm pretty darn close. There's pins in here that actually will align it, but there's not a whole lot to line this bottom piece. So, and I did go with there's 2 options for this little piece here. You have the one with the little red light, that's the American version, and then there's one where there's no little red light in there at all, and then that's the European version. And after everything, this is the one little mistake I had. To fix this, I probably would have had to redo the paint on this fender, and for that little bit I wasn't willing to screw it all up. Here's a look. This is also the other option that you have to choose. This is the American option, and there's 3 for the European option. So it's pretty cool that they actually went through the trouble making all them parts. But this is really cool. And then down in there is the actual cooling radiator. So instead of doing carbon fiber, I know there's quite a few of them people that are really good at the carbon fiber water slides. I am not one of those. I'm good at water slides, but I am not good enough to cut them, make a little template, cut them, and then lay all those. I probably have a whole bunch of cracked ones, and I don't want to take my enjoyment of building a hobby into being completely stressed out, so I don't want to do that. So I use a paint that is, I think it's antique bronze, and it's got a carbon feel to it. It's not really a carbon fiber. I would say it's a carbon feel, but it does look great with that green. They do go really well together. So, but this is probably a long video already. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I enjoyed bringing this build to you guys, to your attention. Please let me know in the comments what you think, And to all you guys, thank you so much for supporting the channel, giving me comments and watching my videos and everything like that. I really appreciate it. The friendships that are built on the YouTube platform is pretty amazing. It's a great feeling to have so many people out there that share the hobby, that are so supportive and have become friends, and it's a great thing to have. So enough said. Until next time, guys, I'll talk to you later, and have a great and wonderful weekend. Bye.